Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to discuss how to create simple program in Java. So if you want to have a Java program, you need an editor. Here, I am using BlueJ as the editor. So BlueJ is an open source editor and it's available free of cost, and it is getting updated up to latest versions, and you don't need to even have JDK in your system or your computer to use BlueJ, and it has almost all the features to run a particular Java application, create and run Java application. Now, if you are opening BlueJ, and you will get a dialog box in there, click project and open new project. Now you are seeing a dialog box to give your project's name, and let us give a project name, for example, demo. Java demo is the project name I am giving, and a folder will be created in this name, Java demo. Let me click OK. Now my project is created, and in this project I can create a class. So in Java, each and every statement you are going to write should be there within a class. A variable or a method, anything you are writing should be there in a class. Java is a pure object-oriented programming language, so it requires you to create at least one class in your program. Now, how to create a class in BlueJ? At the left pane, you are having a new class button. Just click this. You are having a dialog box. In this dialog box, you can give a class name of your preference. It's a good programming practice to give a class name that is most relevant to the purpose of the class. For example, let me give a class name Java demo. Or otherwise I can use another name, for example, class demo, and click OK. Now your class is created, and just double click on the icon which is created for your class, and you are seeing the coding space or coding area. Now BlueJ already created one default code for your class, and we can modify it, or otherwise we can create a fresh class in this space. Let us select everything and erase. We can start from the beginning. A class definition starts with a keyword class. What is a keyword? Keyword is actually a reserved word, a word that is having a specific meaning in Java compiler. So if you are using this class, a keyword, for naming any of the entities in program like variables or functions or methods or arrays or interfaces or classes or objects, that is violation of syntax. So class is a reserved word, and BlueJ highlights it with red color. After that, you can provide a class name of your choice. Already this program has a class name, class demo. Once you give your class name, press enter, and here you can give your opening brace and closing brace. Any class definition starts and ends with a set of curly braces, and the definition of the class is written within this set of curly braces. It is called the block of that particular class. Now, once you press enter, BlueJ provides an indentation. That means a tab space will be left automatically after the beginning of the class definition to differentiate a statement which is out of the class and which is inside the class. Now you can start writing the main method. What is a main method? Every programming language requires a main method in its program. So main method is actually the entry point of the program's execution. You may write even thousands of statements in that particular program or application, but the first statement that will be executed is actually your main method. So it's an entry point. So in Java, the main method is defined as public static void main. And in another video we'll explain what is public, what is static, and all these things. But what is this void is actually, it's a keyword, since it is highlighted in red color. But the place in which this void is present is actually the place for the return type, the type of value that is going to be returned by this function. If you are mentioning any valid return type in this place like integer, this function is capable of returning an integer variable or integer value. But since main is the first function and you cannot expect anything returned by the main function, you can just mention void, that means nothing. This main is going to return anything. Now it has a command line argument string args, and method is or function is also a collection of statements or a block, so it has to open and end with a set of curly braces. Now, in any program, we have to have the declaration of the data. What is the data? The value that is going to be processed by this program is called data. Let me assume that this particular program is going to add two numbers and display the result. So I need to have two variables to hold that two values. What is a variable? A variable is it's a name of a value that is going to be changed throughout the program in various points of execution. So if you are creating a variable, that variable can take different values. Let me have two variables, a or number 1 comma number 2. But what Java expects is you have to tell to this Java compiler what type of value will be stored into this num1 and num2. So let us declare the data type. It's called data type. So data type is actually the type of value that is going to be stored into that variable. Here this num1 and num2 are actually the whole values. So let us declare this as integer. Let us discuss the data types in another video in detail. Right now, as of now, so integer is the data type of this two variables num1 and num2. Now we are expecting that this particular values should come from the user. Otherwise, this program will work only for a set of values. Now this num1 and num2 are the variables which are going to have the values entered by the user. So if the user is going to enter the values, some input schemes should be followed. We used to give the inputs to the programs through the keyboard. So Java is providing a mechanism to accept inputs from the user through keyboard. First and foremost method is InputStreamReader method. So here we are declaring an InputStreamReader object. So we have a predefined InputStreamReader class. Create an object for this InputStreamReader, for example ISR, and the way of creating object is a class name space object name ISR is equal to a new operator, then again the class name InputStreamReader of system.in. What does the system.in denote? It denotes the keyboard or input device you are going to use. Now there is an error highlighted. What is that error? Cannot find symbol class InputStreamReader, because InputStreamReader is a member class of the package IO in Java. So we have to import the IO package into your program. So import java.io.start. So this will import IO package into your program, and the member of IO package, that is this InputStreamReader, is now known to the program. Now once you created an InputStreamReader object, now you can create a buffer for your data, and for that you can create an object of the class BufferedReader, and let us assume its name is BR. So BR is the object of BufferedReader class, and as usual you can create it using new operator, and again BufferedReader of, you have to pass the object of InputStreamReader as parameter to this BufferedReader call. Now what you can do is you can access the member methods of this BufferedReader by using the BufferedReader object to accept input from the user. I want to have two inputs from the user. Both are the numbers, especially the integer numbers. So what I want to do is I want to call a method readLine, which is the member method of the BufferedReader. So I want to call it using the BufferedReader object br. Now, what is the property of this readLine method is it will accept input from the user through keyboard in the form of string. But what you require is an integer value, right? So what you want to do is once you get any value entered by the user using readLine method, to convert it into the required type. Here I want to convert it into integer. So whatever value you are obtaining from the keyboard or from the user through keyboard has to be passed or converted into the integer type. For that I can use pass int method, and the pass int method is getting whatever you are getting from the keyboard as input or parameter. And this pass int is a static method of integer wrapper class. So that you can call this pass int method by using integer. That's a wrapper class name, right? Now this will convert, it will get the value from the user and convert it into integer, and now it is assigned to the number. So num1 is equal to integer dot passInt of br dot readLine. Now the statement ends with a semicolon. The same can be followed for the second variable also. Now num2 is also obtained in the same way, right? So it will accept the number from the user in the form of string using readLine method, and after that it is getting converted into the required type. That means here integer type by using passInt method, which is a member method of integer class, and the resultant values are assigned to num2. Now let us declare one more variable sum, and it is actually getting the value of sum of num1 and num2. Now in Java, if you want to display anything in the screen, you can use the Println method. But Println is actually the member of the out class, and out is actually the member of system package. So you can call the Println method from its package system.out.println the sum of the given two numbers is, then whatever you give within this double quotes will be considered as a string, and that will be printed in the output screen as it is. Now you want to print the result of this sum of these two numbers after this after this string. So what you want to do is you want to use the plus, which is a concatenation operator, which will concatenate two strings, and the println will print the concatenated string. So sum of the given two numbers is then what is available in sum. Now what will happen is this string sum of the given two numbers is actually concatenated or it's connected with what is there in sum. Sum will be converted into string, and both strings will be concatenated, and the result will be printed. Now one important thing is, let us compile it, and actually an exception is possible in this case. So what you can do is you can handle it by using throws IO exception. Let me explain this in another video. Now let us compile it. Now the program is error free, and now let us execute the program by right click on the icon demo, class demo, and click it and click OK in the dialog box, and now you can get the output screen. Now here you can give the first value 10 and second value 20, and if you see the sum of two given numbers is 30. So let me hope that you got an idea of how to create a simple program. Thank you.